In this video, we're going to be finding the unit rate and the equation. Before we choose a coordinate, I want us to go ahead and look at what we're going up by on the x-axis and on the y-axis. Between 0 and 1 is 1/2, or 0.5. So we're going up by halves on the x-axis. So it would be 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. Now the y-axis is a bit trickier. So you could just think about what each of these is worth so that we get to 20, and you could just start trying like 2, 4, 6, 8. That doesn't work. 3, 6, 9, 12. That doesn't work. Or you could also just think of it this way and say, all right, let me count the tallies between 0 and 20. Well, a lot of people want to count this first tally at 0. Don't count that tally. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 tallies between 0 and 20. Or you could think of it as there being 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles between 0 and 20. Then we take how much all 4 squares is equal to, how much all 4 tallies are equal to, and divide by 4 to see how much one tally would equal. Okay, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. So each of these should equal 5. Let's see if this works out. 5, 10, 15, 20. Then it would be 25, 30, 35, 40. So we're going up by 5s. And that was just, I was just showing you a method for how you could figure out what each tally was equivalent to. At this point, we want to choose a point off of this blue navy line. Now, let me choose a point that would not be a good point to choose, but let me just show you, because some kids have trouble with this. This is what I see a lot of kids doing. They'll choose a point like this. Now, you can see that this lines up perfectly with 40, but when you try to trace this to the x-axis, it's unclear what this value is. It's between 2.5 and 3, but I don't know exactly what this value is. So this would not be a good point to choose. I've also had kids who said, oh, Miss Hippemeyer, let's choose this point. Well, you can't choose this point because it's not along the navy line. It has to be a point on the navy line. Even though this is where grid lines cross, it's not on the actual graphed line. So this point you could not choose either. So let me go ahead and erase this and clear this up, and let's choose a point that would actually work for us. Alright, so let's choose, I like this point right here. You can see that this point lines up perfectly with the number 3. And 3 is the x value. So I'll label that as x. And then it also lines up perfectly over here with this tally, which if this is 40, if they're separated by one rectangle, this must be 45. So the y value is 45. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and type what each of these represent. So x represents minutes and y represents words. So I'll get my typing tool. X represented, I said minutes. Okay, that is way too large. Let's see if this works better. So minutes, that looks better. And then the y was the words. And now I'm ready to fill in my unit rate formula. So I take the scribble tool, and I'm going to start by writing the word per, and then I'll grab another color, and I'll fill in my y value as 45, and then I'll type, it's 45 words is what that represents. And then I'll trade colors and go back to the scribble. And the X value is 3. So X is 3, and it's minutes. And then to find the unit rate, we divide. Some of you probably already know what 45 divided by 3 is, but if you didn't know, you would use long division. The numerator goes on the inside, the denominator goes on the outside. 3 goes into 4 one time. The answer to the question goes at the top. 1 times 3 is 3. You subtract what you multiplied. Then you bring down the 5. You can't ask the question until you bring a number down. Alright, 3 goes into 15. How many times? 5 times. The answer to the question goes at the top. 5 times 3 is 15. We subtract, get a remainder of 0, and there's nothing to bring down. So our answer, our unit rate is 15, and I'm going to actually write it down here. What is the unit rate? 15. The W is for words, the P is for per, and the M is for minutes. So this reads 15 words per minute. That's the unit rate. Then when we write the equation, we're going to copy down this equation, y equals kx, but we're going to leave a space. And instead of k, we need to replace k with 15 because we found the unit rate to be 15. K is the unit rate, the constant of proportionality. So the equation y equals 15x represents this graph line. The final thing I need to point out is the special point. And remember, the special point is when x is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 1, I'm supposed to remind you that y is the unit rate. So that means that y would have to be 15. Let's see if that's true. So 1, and then this goes over to, look, it goes over to 15. So that's why this is considered a special point, because where x is 1, y is the unit rate.